evolving, you know, and it's changing, and there's different approaches. And I just want to share a little bit about our program in Syria. And as you know, Syrian conflict has been going on for the last 7 years. Huge amount, millions of people displaced from their homes, huge needs and all that. But the work, for example, that Gong does in Syria is, you know, slightly different. Like we're not directly involved in health as such, and that's a whole other area where it's very dangerous. You know, health facilities are actually targeted, and it's a very dangerous place. But for example, our nutrition program is basically helping to secure flour supplies, keeping flour supplies coming to the bakeries so that they can stay open, because bread is the staple, and you know, if you can keep at least the staple going. Our WASH program, our water and sanitation, is about repairing infrastructure that's been bombed and keeping fuel to pumping stations so that people still have piped water. So you know, it can take many different forms. But the one I wanted to talk most about was about cash assistance. I think it's an increasing area of importance in humanitarian work, and I think you'll be hearing more and more about it. Cash and voucher assistance, I don't know if you've heard about it, but you know, there's a commitment by the UN and the humanitarian sector really to increase the amount of aid we deliver via cash and vouchers. And that can take different forms, but the rationale is, you know, you're giving people more choice. Instead of giving them food or you know, non-food items, you actually give them the cash or vouchers so that they can choose what they, you know, want themselves or what they need from their family. So it gives them more dignity and more you know, more control over a situation where they're, as we spoke about all weekend, about, you know, your control is taken out of your life. So at least gives you that bit of control left. So cash can come in different forms. It can be actual cash, and then vouchers is you get vouchers and you can go to certain shops or businesses to redeem them. So there can be different types of cash. It can be restricted or unrestricted. So you can get your voucher and you can go and you can buy certain food, or it can be unrestricted. You can actually buy soap, you can actually buy sanitary towels, you can actually buy you know, even small luxury items for your family. It depends, it's up to people. And then there's also conditional and unconditional cash. Some conditional means that there's some condition behind receiving the cash, like in Haiti, people, if they provided some labour to clear rubble, for example, or in floods to clear canals, something, so that water can flow, and they receive cash for that work. So they're helping the community, but also then they're getting that cash. Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of debate. I mean, cash has been used now for many years, but there's been a lot of debate about, you know, if you give people cash, what's to say they won't go and buy alcohol or cigarettes, and there was kind of a fear about that. But there's been a lot of research done on this now, and it's not true. Most people in situations like that will use the cash for, you know, for the benefit of their own family. And, you know, there are always been exceptions. You know, even if you give people, you know, cooking oil, they can go to the local market and sell it and buy alcohol. You know, it's, you know, there isn't a foolproof way of anything, but at least it's a much more, as I say, you know, it empowers people more if you give them cash and voucher assistance. And as I say, there's commitment to try and increase the amount of cash we do. There isn't so much of cash being used in health yet, but it's an area that's increasing. Because it's a bit trickier in terms of delivering health services and paying cash for them, you know, because you want a commitment towards free healthcare initiatives and things like that. You don't want cash to interrupt that, you know, system. But there's a lot of out-of-pocket expenses involved in as they call it, for healthcare. So how people, you know, have to pay for transport to get to the clinic. Some mothers have to stay with their children in the hospital, and they have money, you know, they don't have money to buy food. Those those kind of things. So there are different ways you can support with cash for health services as well. So yeah, I'm just making the point for cash, and yeah, I think I'll come up before 3 minutes.